Oh, what a lovely flower field. Did that guy just say flower field? Does he not know? He doesn't stand a chance. Ladies, gentlemen, and tarnished of all ages, if you want to complete every single aspect of this game, or at least face every single challenge it has to offer, sometimes you may need a little bit of help. Elden Ring as a game is massive. There are bosses everywhere, and you can easily miss them. And sometimes if you don't find a hidden medallion in a couple of very specific places on the map, you can then get blocked off from an entire mega dungeon harboring arguably the most threatening boss in the entire game. I'll leave that to the end of the video though, as that is unarguably an end of game challenge. Today I will be showing you one more set of 7 bosses you don't want to miss in Elden Ring, going in order from the earliest available to be fought all the way to the latest, and within each section I will be telling you where the boss is before showing you the boss itself, in case you want to just experience it for yourself, so you can skip around as necessary. Without further ado, first up today is located in the Caelid region, over on the west side in the Gaol cave. If you haven't been here, it is just west of the Astray from Caelid Highway North side of Grace, but it requires a stone sword key to enter, and it is in a bit of a weird corner. Due to it being just sort of in its own place alone and also requiring a key, it is entirely possible to miss this or even spot it at one point and think, oh yeah, I'll come back later, forgetting because it doesn't show up on your map until you actually go inside of the cave. In any case, the cave is here, and if you follow it with a general interest in heading downwards, it is very easy to reach the boss room at the end behind a false floor in the cave. The boss is down there, and it is a Frenzied Duelist. This enemy becomes somewhat more of a standard foe later in the game, but like the Mad Pumpkin Heads in Limgrave, for example, this is an early proper boss version of them, where you are expected to fight them at a much weaker point. A much weaker point than I am at because I fucking deleted him. Oh no. Anyways, upon defeat, he drops the Putrid Corpse Ashes, and then if you go out the back end of the cave, you'll also find the Regalia of Eocade's Short Sword, which is a straight sword version of the legendary armament Marae Executioner Sword. Secondly, we'll also be in Caelid, up above the town of Celia on the cliffs. The easiest way to reach it is from the Dragon Barrow west side of Grace. Just follow south along the cliff line until you see the Celia Everjail in front of you. Once you reach it, step in and prepare to fight the boss, whose name is Battlemage Hughes. This is not a particularly notable fight except for its strange location, as well as the neat reward for defeating him, which is, well, himself as a spirit summon for you to use. So you kill him, and then you kidnap his ghost. Then, third today, is a real big journey across to the mountain top of the Giants region of the game, traveling to the frozen lake and then along the western wall of the cliff until you find the Spirit Collar Cave, which is unlocked with 2 stone sword keys. Once inside, like the earlier cave, as long as you head through, aiming to get as deep down in the cave as possible, it is actually really easy to reach the end, as this is simply the boss at the end of this area. Behind the boss fog wall lays for you the Spirit Godskin duo, which first comes out as Godskin Apostle, and then after you defeat him, Godskin Noble will spawn. With both dead, the realization will hit you that maybe there is a third entity in the room. I won't say more. Upon defeat, you can wrench from them the Godskin Swaddling Cloth, a talisman that restores health when you hit an enemy multiple times in a row. Fourth up is a bit farther through the mountaintop of the Giants area. Across from the Giants' Grave Post, site of Grace, there is a stone structure known as the Giant Conquering Hero's Grave. Inside, from the site of Grace, take a left and then jump out of the window on your right. Head up the stairs that are in front of you and then immediately take a left, then take a right, and after the deactivated fire trap, go left, up the stairs, and forwards to find an elevator. On your left at the bottom, you'll find a shadow giant that you need to bring backwards into the holy circle of light behind you to make appear so you can kill him, which will unlock the door behind him. And then you can access the boss of the dungeon through there. The boss inside is, of course, the ancient hero of Zamor. You may have fought a very significantly weaker one of these in an Everjail all the way back in Limgrave, but this guy is the real deal Frosty Curved Swordsman, which is a very different story from Frosty the Snowman. Upon defeat, this guy will drop you both his armor set and his weapon, which makes it a pretty valuable haul from just one boss. Fifthly then, we have a foe located over in the consecrated snowfields area of the game. To get here, you need to have the Halligree Medallion, which is split in 2 halves, one of which located in the village of the Albinarix, just a bit east from the site of Grace. Smack this pot and talk to Albus the Medallion Plug. The other half is in the Castle Soul area, the north of the mountaintop of the Giants region. Once you defeat the boss on the rooftop, head past him and further up to find the other half of the medallion. Then head to the Grand Lift of Rold at the beginning of the mountaintops region and hoist the new medallion to be brought to the new area, the Consecrated Snowfields. In here, from the inner Consecrated Snowfield site of Grace, make sure that it is nighttime first and then follow the river all the way to its eastern endpoint, where you will find a boss. This boss is really quite cool. The king of the magma worms, Great Wyrm Theodorix. First up, badass name. I would name a kid Theodorics if I ever had a kid, why the hell not? Second, his moveset is just the culmination of other magma worms, but bigger, better, stronger. His size is immense and his power quite well matches that. His damage and his range is large, and it is quite the challenging fight in a beautiful location, and you'll only come across it if you come to this specific area in the nighttime. Upon defeating him, you will receive 3 dragon hearts and unlock the Theodorix's Magma Dragon incantation for purchase. Sixth then today, also at nighttime only, at the opposite end of the same frozen river all the way in the northwest, you will find the ultimate version of the Deathbird bosses. There are a number of these throughout the game, and each time that you encounter one, they seem to have upgraded a little bit and unlocked some more power, more moves, but this one is absolutely the biggest and baddest of them all, wielding the Death's Poker weapon itself, flying around launching out barrages of ghost flame spears. It is actually a really intense and cool fight. The damage is nasty, but he is also quite weak to things you might expect a thing called a Deathbird to be weak to. Once you defeat him, you will get the exploding ghost flame sorcery for your own use. And then, finally, I'm going to tell you all how to unlock the Haligtree mega dungeon itself if you haven't worked it out on your own so far. First, head to the Ordina liturgical town site of Grace in the north of the Consecrated Snowfields. Then go up to the Everjail at the top of the town. Activate this and then go around the town up the ladders to find the candles you have to light on statues. One of them is on the ground level all the way at the front. One of them you access by going forwards and then jumping on the railing of a staircase to sneak around to a hidden ladder in an alcove, climbing it up to reach the candle on top. From that one you drop down to the other roof and run across some roofs to the next candle. The final one is reached from a ladder around the northwest side of the town on the outside side of the village itself. Once all of these candles are lit, the seal will be broken and you can proceed through the back of the city to the Haligtree itself. Once inside, there are no particularly hidden bosses. There are 2 inside of here, and they are both along the main path of the area. Instead of spoiling the first one unnecessarily, because you'll probably be doing it anyways, I'll just tell you about the second one to know why you want to come to this place. This boss is considered by many to be the hardest boss in the game. It is a weirdly fair fight in a way, which makes it a very fun experience, but it has unique mechanics not at play in other fights in the game that completely redefine the rules of engagement compared to an average boss. Even if you never wind up beating this boss, you owe it to yourself, if you own Elden Ring, to at least experience it, to at least see it for yourself. And now, without any more beating around the bush, this boss is Melania Blade of Mikola, who it still really bothers me that his name is pronounced that way. Her big mechanic is that she heals every time that she deals damage, either to you or any summon that you bring along with you. As a result, you can't really trade hits like you may against other bosses. You have to be a bit more tactical about finding your moments to get some damage in. She is also incredibly quick and her combos are very long, but the flip side to this is that she has very little poise and a reasonably low overall health pool, meaning that for this, the length of encounter is more determined by how often you get hit by her than it is by your personal damage output. Having a high poise breaking ability will definitely be your friend more than fast light attacks, but in general, you just want to be way more focused on dodging hits than getting in your attacks unless you are certain you can knock her to the floor. I am loath to even spoil this in the spoiler section of this, but once you deplete her health bar, there is of course a cutscene and another phase begin. What I will absolutely refuse to show you, however, is that second phase. It is an absolute beauty of a fight, a terrifying experience, and she basically takes off the majority of her clothes for some reason I still don't understand. But trust me, if you already own this game, this is a fight that you just need to see for yourself. When you defeat her, you will receive her Great Rune as well as her Remembrance, which can be traded in for her katana or a Scarlet Wrought Flower incantation. And with that, we have it all laid out. I've been Cotton Dinosaur, and this has been another set of 7 bosses that you don't want to miss in Elden Ring. Have you missed any of these bosses yourself, or are this just child's play? Am I pointing out obvious ones at this point? Like if you liked the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.